But we begin this half hour in Boston, where State Representative Laurel Libby asked an appeals court to give her back her right to speak on the floor of the Maine House.
You will recall back in February, the Democratic majority of the Maine House voted to censure Libby, a Republican from Auburn, for a social media post she made showing an image and the name of a transgender teenager.
The censure meant she could no longer speak on the floor or vote on bills. She sued Speaker of the House Ryan Fecteau to get those powers back.
She won a partial victory just a few weeks ago. That's when the U.S. Supreme Court said she should still get to vote in the House while her case is appealed. Well, today, judges heard that appeal, and News Center Maine's Donovan Lynch was there.
A legal battle at the heart of Maine politics reaches a critical test in a Boston courtroom.
I think that it was a very well-rounded discussion on the merits of the case.
On Thursday, a three-judge panel in the U.S. First Circuit Court of Appeals weighing the merits of the Maine House of Representatives' decision to strip GOP State Representative Laurel Libby of her right to vote and speak on the floor. All this part of a censure for a social media post she made using the picture and name of a trans teenager in Maine. She then sued Speaker of the House Ryan Fecteau and the House clerk to get her power back. In court, Libby's lawyers arguing Fecteau acted outside his power and that she's been deprived of her freedom of speech and her constituents are losing their voice if her vote is on the sidelines.
It's so critical that we get back not just the vote, but also their voice.
There is a caveat. For now, Libby can vote on the floor, following an emergency order by the Supreme Court in May, which will end when this appeals court makes a decision. But the key question the judges wrestled with on Thursday had less to do with Libby and more to do with Speaker Fecteau. His lawyers argue Fecteau taking away Libby's right to debate and vote over her conduct is within the rules of the Maine House, insulating Fecteau from legal action or judgment under the concept of legislative immunity. A lawyer for Fecteau presented the idea of a court telling the Speaker of the House how to preside over the chamber as, quote, a very extreme judicial intervention into the workings of the legislature. Circuit Court Judge Seth Aframe, the most vocal on the panel, seemed sympathetic to this idea when it comes to Libby's ability to speak. Aframe saying in part, what worries me is that we are referees of individualized decisions. But on the issue of Libby's vote on the floor, the judge appearing to strike a different tone, pointing to the Supreme Court's order that granted Libby her voting rights back. If the court rules against Libby and denies her request for a preliminary injunction, her lawyer spoke of taking this to the Supreme Court. We did reach out to the Maine Attorney General's office for comment on today's oral argument. A spokesperson said they don't comment on pending litigation. In Boston, Donovan Lynch, News Center, Maine.